panel. Shelby Holliday is a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, which broke this story. Her colleagues, Ken Delaney, an NBC's intelligence national security reporter, and Jim Manley, a former aide to Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. Ken, the state of play tonight as you know it.
Well, Ari, there seems to be some dispute in the reporting as to whether Robert Mueller impaneled a special grand jury to hear this Trump-Russia investigation, or whether he's merely using an existing grand jury already sitting in Washington, D.C. That seems to me a significant thing that we should try to get to the bottom of. But either way, it's some movement in this case. It shows that at the very least, Mueller wanted the convenience of having a grand jury near his offices in Washington, D.C. after having been using one in Alexandria. And as you well know, the most powerful tool a grand jury affords a prosecutor is the ability to compel testimony. A witness does not have to sit voluntarily for an FBI interview, but you do have to go down to a grand jury if you're subpoenaed, and you can take the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination, but if a prosecutor offers you immunity, you have to testify, Ari, and that's a powerful tool.
Much narrower. Shelby Holliday, a big story from your paper here.
Yes.
Your views on the politics of it.
Well, politically, it's interesting because we've seen multiple investigations run parallel to each other. So Congress is also investigating possible collusion between the Trump campaign and Moscow. There's a question of what this means for the congressional investigations. We saw the Senate committee last week, 2 weeks ago maybe it was, try to subpoena Paul Manafort. And they brought Jared Kushner and Donald Trump Jr. to the Hill to question them. But they ultimately don't have as much power as a grand jury does to compel witness testimony, to subpoena documents. And so this is a signal that the investigation is growing. It's not winding down. We know that heat is on. The fact that Congress is looking at protecting Mueller's position is absolutely huge because it's a bipartisan effort. Republicans control Congress. It doesn't matter. They're on board with this. And what they want to do is essentially make it so that if President Trump wants to fire Mueller through the Justice Department, Mueller could challenge that. And he would have a three-judge panel decide whether or not he should be removed.
Right, which I want to bring Jim in on that point. I mean, it shows that the Senate, Jim, sees its role, you worked there with Harry Reid, as obviously buttressing some of this. And the point about how these proceedings go down, I mean, congressional hearings can be rough. They have an element of public shaming. But a grand jury proceeding, as folks will remember from the Clinton investigation, make those hearings look like a cocktail party.
They sure do. It's one thing to lie, via the press, but it's a whole other ball of wax to lie before a grand jury. A couple different things. First of all, I think the Hill is going to give due deference to Mueller to the extent they can. They have a lot of trust in him. And number two, I think you and your readers need to understand that these bills introduced today are interesting, but what I find fascinating is that it's indicative of more and more Republicans, especially in the Senate, are going out of their way to try and find ways to distance themselves from Trump. They're not going to carry water for this guy on something as serious as this. However, there is a problem if we're talking about this legislation. If they need to, I assume it can get through the Senate. I'm not convinced it can get through the House. That's going to take Speaker Ryan standing up to the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Bob Goodlatte, who's busy trying to investigate Hillary Clinton's emails. So I'm not so sure it can get through the House.
And the other Senate question I have for you, Jim, as we have on these lawyers that didn't get as much attention in the old days. You parliamentary experts also getting a little more attention with all of your boring book of knowledge. If we get word today that when they go into recess that McConnell does make it a pro forma recess, your interpretation of that?
Oh, it's done purely and solely designed to try and prevent Donald Trump from doing a recess appointment of replacing replacing Jeff Sessions at the Department of Justice.
And we're looking here at the Senate floor.
Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. What they're saying is they don't trust this president to do the wrong thing.
You know, you bring up a good point. This also comes on the heels of Congress passing a bill that not only tightens sanctions, but limits the president's power to lift sanctions. They basically said, we don't trust you to negotiate with Russia. We don't trust you to even deal with Russia's meddling in the election. And so we're going to take your power away. And I think, as you point out, we're seeing Congress increasingly concerned about this investigation and where it's heading.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point, Shelby. And Ken, speak to that, because it would seem from the national security side, where you talk to a lot of folks who see themselves as relatively nonpartisan, their message they're getting from a Republican Senate, McConnell makes this call, is that apparently, if you buy Jim Manley's interpretation, he wants to put the brakes on potentially bad security-related decisions the president could make in the Senate's absence.
Absolutely. Look, there is a growing disquiet with this administration among both Republicans and Democrats in the national security community. I was at the Aspen Security Forum a couple of weeks ago, filled with sort of decision makers from both parties of all stripes, and the unifying field theory of that place was deep disquiet about Trump's relationship with Russia, about where this investigation is headed, and about where they're taking foreign policy. So there's no doubt about that, Ari.
Ken Delaney and Shelby Holliday, Jim Manley, a busy day for all